Where is David? It's a simple question, but probably a complicated answer. For the man who all eyes are on as the investigation continues into the death of the young girl found in his car, as there's no arrests, no named suspect, no named person of interest, and now a statement from the LAPD.
The Los Angeles Police Department has officially spoken again on the death of 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez, and what they said are...
If they can't determine cause of death because they can't do a proper tox evaluation, the DA is going to have a hell of a time charging anybody.
Nancy, you do not dismember a body because the victim overdosed. Something else bad happened in that house, and I've been playing in my mind with what could that bad thing have been?
To the case, I had a conversation with a private investigator who got his hands on some pretty jarring video.
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, Waller County Sheriff's Office.
Hello, I need help.
Okay, what's going on? Where are you at?
I heard some gunshots.
Okay. How close to your residence were they?
They were right outside my house, and I think someone's dead. I heard a scream.
Was it a male or a female scream, do you think?
It was a female.
Female?
It was a discovery so disturbing that even veteran officers described the moment as surreal.
And according to an exclusive interview that Law and Crime Network, shout out to them on YouTube, that they had with the private investigator on this case, they say at this point they likely know who the individual was that actually moved the Tesla truck.
As it's driving away from his mansion, and it ends up in a place where it was abandoned. And guess what? The window was partly down. And so, yeah, the person driving was visible.
While Celeste's body was still in the front trunk of the vehicle, among many other things, of course.
It was reported right at the beginning that one of the ways that an ID was done, or they thought that Celeste was the person that trunk, is because another outlet had a conversation with the mother, and she said that there's also been images that have come forward on Reddit that show David in Lake Elsinore doing some sort of transaction with a kid. And then I think that there's a strong possibility they knew. And it's important to realize that she's in, I think, 7th grade, maybe 8th, but this is a very young child, and you can't just let them drop out of school.
Celeste had been missing for more than a year, disappearing from her Lake Elsinore home at just 13, after what her mother described as a troubled period filled with runaways, arguments, and a relationship with someone she called David. Friends and online observers later pointed out that the teen had a tattoo similar to the singer's, and social media was soon circulating screenshots, live stream images, and old fan discussions, suggesting that some people believe D4VD had a girlfriend named Celeste long before the public ever knew the girl was missing. None of those online claims have been confirmed by police, but their existence added a haunting layer to a case already drowning in unanswered questions.
Take a listen.
How certain are you that this video of the car driving away from David's mansion is the last time it drove and ended up at the spot where it was abandoned, likely with that body inside?
I'm certain.
Meanwhile, the timeline of Celeste's life before her disappearance is as chaotic as everything that followed.
A dead body in your trunk can really hurt your reputation. Did he ever report his Tesla missing?
Absolutely not.
Okay, did he ever report Celeste missing?
Absolutely not.
Police were called to her family home more than 30 times in the months before and after she vanished. She first ran away on Valentine's Day 2024, leaving a note behind. She returned at some point, then disappeared again in March.
Huge update in this case. Celeste Rivas Hernandez, ex-boyfriend, told TMZ in an interview that she was planning to run away because she did not like the way her mother treated her. She did not say she was running away because she wanted to go be with David. She said that she was not happy at home and she had issues with her mother. Her mother, to me, now is one of the #1 suspects, because what kind of issues did they have and how deep did those issues run? Was her mother abusive, and is that why Celeste always ran away from home?
With TMZ later publishing footage appearing to show her walking past a liquor store toward a dark vehicle just out of frame. A cousin posted a TikTok clip showing her at a neighborhood cookout. Neighbors said they saw her back home later that year. Each sighting suggests she was moving in and out of different spaces, unstable but alive, right up until she wasn't. Fisher claims he has material proving she was alive as recently as January 2025, though LAPD has not commented on that claim. The singer's own silence has become another piece of this emotional puzzle. D4VD canceled the remainder of his world tour days after Celeste was identified.
Where is David? It's a simple question, but probably a complicated answer. For the man who all eyes are on as the investigation continues into the death of the young girl found in his car, as there's no arrests, no named suspect, no named person of interest, and now a statement from the LAPD possibly signaling that no one may ultimately be charged with her death, why haven't we seen or heard from him? And what do we think he's doing right now?
He hired high-profile defense attorney Blair Burke, known for representing some of Hollywood's most controversial figures. He moved out of the rented mansion shortly after the police raid.
He hired prominent criminal defense attorney to the stars, Blair Burke, talking someone who repped Harvey Weinstein, Lindsay Lohan, Kanye West, Mel Gibson, Britney Spears. She also has been relatively quiet on that front too. We haven't seen any public comment from her about the case. But to be clear, to be very, very clear about this, him reportedly retaining her doesn't mean that he's been charged. No, he hasn't been charged in connection with Celeste's death. He hasn't been named a person of interest. He hasn't been named a suspect. And even him retaining an attorney doesn't necessarily mean that he's about to be charged, okay?
Property records show he transferred 2 homes in Texas into his mother's name.
Speaking legal, he also did something interesting too. He transferred property. So on September 18th, again, this is after Celeste's body was found, someone called 911 to David's parents' house in Hempstead, Texas, in what appears to be a fake report, an alleged swatting incident. Out that according to TMZ, David apparently transferred deeds of 2 Texas homes to a trust in his mother's name. This apparently happened on September 18th and September 22nd. September 18th was the day of the alleged swatting incident, and that home appears to be one of the properties that we're talking about. So why did he do this?
He has not spoken publicly about Celeste or about the investigation, and LAPD has not said whether he is cooperating. The department has also emphasized that he has not been accused of any crime.
2 suspicions as to why he did this. You know, this case, you guys have been covering this from the start. This is getting crazier and crazier by the minute. I have 2 suspicions as to why he did it, and both of them have to do with asset protection. Old-fashioned, I want to preserve my assets in the event something happens to me. If he is charged criminally, and obviously we're speculating, but if he were to be charged criminally, there would be a monetary fine as part of any potential punishment. If he doesn't have the assets to pay the fine, then he can't pay the fine. So one thing to do is get rid of your assets and put them in someone else's name.
For now, the case remains categorized only as a death investigation, not a homicide. Toxicology and autopsy results are still pending. Detectives have not announced suspects, persons of interest, or any final timeline.
Where I'm going with this is, if we don't get a COD, cause of death, if she's too decomposed to get a good toxicology screen, the argument is going to be, Luke Kenton, oh, she voluntarily, all on her own, just gobbled down a bunch of opiates and she died. That's how she died, everybody. We had nothing to do with it. And then out of fear, we hid her body.
They have acknowledged only that Celeste died under circumstances that are not yet fully understood and that someone concealed her body in the trunk of a car. Whether that concealment was panic, fear, negligence, or something darker remains a question haunting everyone following the case. And through all of this, Celeste's family continues to grieve without clarity.
The Los Angeles Police Department has officially spoken again on the death of 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez, and what they said, or rather what they didn't say, has thrown this entire investigation into kind of a chilling limbo, if you will, for the general public. When KTLA reached out for an update, LAPD responded with a single calculated phrase. Their previous statement stands on its own. The previous statement stands on its own. In any normal case, it might sound like standard PR language, kind of cold, procedural, forgettable. But in this case, it's kind of everything. That line tells us they have nothing new to add and no plans to expand their position that, so far, the only potential crime they can confirm is concealment of a body.
Burying a daughter who vanished at 13 and returned only as a set of remains discovered by accident in a place no child should ever have been. The emotional weight of the case hangs heavy over Los Angeles, full of hints, fragments, timelines, claims, and theories, but almost no certainty.
Tonight, we are learning about brand new surveillance footage that could completely change this case. It captures the Tesla, David's Tesla, being driven for the last time before it was dumped on that Hollywood Hills street, the same street where it sat baking in the sun for weeks, with Celeste's body decomposing inside. And that footage? It did not come from the LAPD. It came from a private investigator who's been quietly working behind the scenes.
A teenager is gone, a celebrity's life has been turned upside down, an investigation is moving slowly and cautiously, and the truth remains suspended between what is known, what is suspected, and what may never be proven.